The scream was not one of voice or breath. It was a psychic cry, a raw pulse of grief and agony that surged across the cosmos like a shockwave. On Earth, scientists called it the anomaly. Telescopes didn't catch it. Radios couldn't hear it. But people felt it. Millions jolted awake in the same moment, their dreams filled with a terrible roar and burning golden eyes. Babies screamed. Animals fled. Soldiers dropped weapons mid-drill, shaken and weeping without knowing why. The source was located days later. A dying star in the Oberk sector, light years beyond the edge of human colonies. A previously undetected celestial body, a massive living being, orbited it. Humanity had no idea what it had found. Not yet. But it was hurting. Captain Arya Vance leaned forward as the first visual feed of the creature appeared on her ship's view screen. Gasps rippled through the bridge. It was a dragon, an enormous, wounded one. Its wings spanned kilometers, though torn and scorched. Scales shimmered in gold and violet tones, dulled by blackened burns and meteor pockmarks. A gaping wound cut across its chest, leaking faint energy like a dying sun. It floated in a fetal curl, cradled in orbit by its own gravity. Gods? Someone whispered. It's alive? Arya asked. Barely, replied Dr. Ngoma, the xenobiologist beside her. Captain, this thing didn't just send a psychic signal. It called for help. That scream was a distress cry. The weight of that struck everyone silent. A star-sized alien dragon had called for help, and humanity had answered. The UN declared it a species-wide priority. Not for conquest or profit, but something stranger, compassion. Scientists, diplomats, and volunteers flooded into the project, dubbed Operation Solace. Aria's ship, the Mercy Dawn, was the first responder. As they drew close, the crew donned experimental neural translators and advanced hazard suits. The dragon's psychic field was overwhelming, emotions rippling in waves, pain, confusion, loneliness. No words, just feeling. The medical drones approached first. They began mapping its injuries, scanning regenerative tissues, and injecting bio-nanosalves into damaged organs the size of small islands. I've never seen wounds like these, Dr. Ngoma murmured. Something tore it open from the inside. Implants? Parasites? Maybe torture? Arya stared at the deep ridges and scars hidden beneath the scales. Someone did this to her. Hurt her badly enough to make her scream across stars, the doctor said, voice tight. Over weeks, the dragon began to stir. Her giant eye cracked open like a sun rising through clouds, and everyone on the bridge felt it, an immense awareness folding toward them. Then, a whisper in their minds, ancient and aching. You heard me. You came. The crew wept. Arya stepped forward. We heard you. We came to help. A soft tremor passed through the ship's systems, like a sigh not of air but space itself shifting. I'm Sira, last of the starborn brood. Betrayed. Broken. Alone. The images she shared were fragmented. A once proud clutch of spacefaring dragons soaring between stars, ancient protectors of balance, hunted down and tortured for their cosmic essence. Harvested, until only I remained. I fled. But I am fading. You're not alone now, Arya said. News spread like wildfire. The galaxy had thought itself the apex of evolution, until it discovered Sira. Entire religions shifted. Empires paused their wars. Children lit candles for the Space Mother. But not everyone welcomed the discovery. A rogue faction, believed to be remnants of the poachers who had hunted her kind, sent ships. Their goal was simple: finish the job and take what remained. The Mercy Dawn stood between them and the dragon. She's too weak to fight back, Arya said. If they breach the perimeter. We won't let them, growled Commander Singh. The battle was swift, brutal, and nearly fatal. 3 human ships were lost holding the line. But they succeeded. As the last hostile cruiser exploded in distant fire, the dragon lifted her massive head, and for the first time, sang. The sound wasn't heard but felt. A haunting, grateful melody that made every soul in the system tremble. Months passed. With humanity's help, Sira slowly healed. The light returned to her scales. Her wings mended, though scarred. She remained in orbit by choice, not as a prisoner but a guest. She shared stories of her kind, how they seeded stars, healed dying systems, and even sculpted life in its infancy. They had never meant to rule, only to guide. And now she guided humanity. She showed scientists how to mend planetary cores, stabilize weather patterns, and convert solar flares into energy. Her knowledge advanced human science by centuries. But she asked for only one thing in return: kindness. To never do to others what was done to her kin. Humanity listened. And for once they changed. A year later, Arya stood on the observation deck of a new space station built beside Syrah's orbit, now a peaceful sanctuary called the Spiral Garden. Children played in zero-G near crystal sculptures grown from Syrah's guidance. Artists and musicians from across Earth's nations created works in her honor. And every year, on the date of her cry, a galactic moment of silence was held. Arya smiled as the massive golden eye turned toward her again. "Did you ever think we'd become this?" she asked. "You were broken too. But when you heard pain, you chose mercy." That whisper filled her with pride and sadness for what had been lost. "We won't forget." "Then I am not the last." And so the galaxy changed. All because when a wounded dragon cried, humanity didn't look away. They answered. And for the first time in countless millennia, a starborn creature believed in hope again.